Hello everyone, and welcome to Orph's Top 5 RBG add-ons video.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
Number 5. Starting off our list at number 5 is capping battleground timers. Capital C, capital B, capital T, 3 separate words, but capping battleground timers. In the bottom right of my screen, which again, these are all movable, you can see a countdown and a color. This is telling me and everyone else that has the add-on that in 43 seconds, Shrine's going to be capped. At 46 seconds, Farm's going to be capped. Our base will cap 1 second faster than Quarry, then Ruins, and then Farm will cap last. I'm super slow apparently. But that is a really good way of being able to tell how long it's going to take for something to swap over. Let's see if I can get to one part. Right, here we go. It gives you an ending timer. Puts it up here as well. But it gives you an ending timer of how long the team wins. So if Horde is going to win in 14 minutes and 44 seconds, and it changes. So they're going to win in 14:44. If we can scroll, really embarrassing if this is a game where we lose, but I think I know what game it is. So they're at 13:23, and then somebody saying we got market, we got market, we got market. So they got market. They're 60. You see when that clock counts down, it's at 5:03. So let's go to 5:60 something or 6 something. There we go. So it's about to cap. It's about to cap. Horde's going to win in 12 minutes, but it's our base now. So it switched. It's blue. And then now the Alliance wins in 9 minutes and 11 seconds. So again, it shows the timer up here below the normal frames that it has the bases. It shows it down here. It shows the beginning of the battleground. How much time is in the countdown before the doors open. Arenas, it does the same thing. But if you'll notice, you know, we went in 2, 3. It is a one or two times I've had it to where the score's been very close. I'm gonna try to stop moving my mouse so it'll show. So it's 14-14 to 1386. They got a third base. The add-on says we win in 48 seconds. Now, that'd be awesome. Watch the points. We'll just count. We're just going to watch the clock. We're going to watch the points. You're at here. Let's move it a little bit. 14:59 to 14:50. 22 seconds left. Lord, this add-on better be right. 20 seconds left. You got 1477. We're 7 points ahead. 6 points ahead, and the gap just keeps getting closer and closer. 4 points, 3 points, 2 points away, 1 point away, and we hit a draw. Only time I've ever seen it be wrong, but it's very useful. Like, how many bases do we need to win? Oh, I think there's a weak aura that you can use. But this actually gives you timers. It counts down. It's super useful. I'm going to turn this mount off so that doesn't scream in my ear again. Sorry if that happened previously. But yeah, capping, battleground timers, great. Number 4. At number 4, which some people may argue may be higher, or should be higher or lower, we have H.H.T.D. Our old school healers have to die. If you look over there in the top above Scary's head is a symbol. It's a healing symbol. This add-on And you'll see on Elrin, yeah, Arenian, an enemy healer, there's also shows a icon above their head. Don't ask me what the numbers mean because I have no idea, but it's super useful in team fights like this, especially at the very beginning. Let me go back. Maybe we killed them too quickly here, but as everything kind of just clusters into a mess, you'll see that they'll pop up on all of the healers. You'll see their healers, our healers. It's just something that it's another easy thing to visualize. Oh, there's a druid that's a healer. I know that that's a healer. I know to watch them. That priest is a healer. I know to watch them. That's something that I don't have to super look for. I don't have to look at BGE to be able to see, oh, that's a healer, that's a healer, that's a healer. I can look and I say that priest I know is a healer because they have the healers have to die icon. Useful in arenas, it's useful in open world, it's useful in RBGs and BGs. But healers have to die, or again, all capital letters, H dot, H dot, T dot, D dot. Great add-on for RBGs. Number 3. At number 3, we have Reporter. That's capital R, capital E, capital P, ORTER. So, Reporter has two functions. Number 1, and what I use it for, is the tiny map way over there. So you can see the icons on the map. I can't zoom in, but this is what I'm talking about. So here you'll see if your team has icons on anybody, IVX, there's the, skull. Let's see, we've got triangle and square. There's square that ran over there. Triangle's right here. So you can see all the icons on your screen. So you'll know, usually we would mark the tank, target caller, healers, people, important people with icons. And you can see them on the screen. You can also see the flag if it's being run, like on Warsaw Gulch or whatever. You can see the flag running across the map. You can see what the dots are. The rogue, warlock may have called for help at Lumber. The rogue went up there. So you can follow your team along. If they're moving, let's see. So we won the mid fight. So everybody's spreading out. Monk's going to come up this way. I'm getting help from the druid coming to stables. You can see everything your team is doing. Very valuable. I think one of the biggest things is being able to see the icons. Being able to tell, like, if I'm carrying the flag and I'm way up here somewhere at Warsaw Gulch and I see my X and my triangle back here, I might need to come back out. I'm nowhere near my healers. That's why it's important to mark the healers, tank, target caller, whatever. But it's important. So look, rogue went to farm. So you can say, okay, I'm gonna ghost wherever. I'm gonna ghost the mines if he was at mines. And he went farm. You'd be able to see him walk all the way. The other function, it has another functionality where you can click in here, or if it makes a little thing that you can put at the bottom where it will announce in chat, hey, farm 2 or whatever. So it's then announcing the reports, hence the name, into chat that, your base is being hit or whatever's happening. Good functionality for random BGs, no voice, YOLOs, but for regular RBGs, it's invaluable to be able to see where your team is. Tiny map in-game works as well, I suppose, but I don't have to keep clicking M to keep my map open and close, open and close, open and close. I can see when people are coming. Number 2. At number 2, we have a recent addition to my add-ons. I'd like to thank Ruckus. Shout out. Is big debuffs. Big Debuffs, all one word. Big B, big D. It's a lifesaver. I've begun target calling. I've been told to target call. So I've been target calling, and it is so helpful. It has options that you can use for your raid frames. I don't do that. I also don't do my unit frames. Just kind of follow what Ruckus had. I may have changed some things down here, but nameplates. So I use Plater to be able to see enemy nameplates, and it puts a little thing next to it. I'll pop up some gameplay so we can actually see what it does, but you're able to see immunities, defensive buffs, CC that's on them, immunities that you could use roots. I don't have roots on. Maybe I should. Offensive buffs, just tons of things that you can turn on for big debuffs. Now on to the gameplay. So it'll take a second for me to get into combat, but as we all zoom in to try and get the reset buff from the wrong side of the map, you'll see just a bunch of big things next to nameplates. So there's a stun by a pally. That's Icy Veins. I don't know all their names yet. That's really taking some getting used to. That's their darkness. That's their bubble. So you can see defensive. This is a absolute game changer. When I was calling targets, the first week or two, maybe AMZ. The first one you could see AMZ, but like you can tell who's in it. The first week or two that I did target calling, I was absolutely lost. I was relying on other people to tell me when to switch targets because I could see a Ret's bubble, I can see turtle, and I can see ice block. I normally can't tell when the darkness isn't my own. I mean, if there's two DHs, I know when I press my button, but bubble, you can kind of tell it's red tinted, but some of this stuff is so hard to see. You can't see stuns bubble, like, so this is a game changer. But yeah, after week 2 or so of target calling, I started making calls on my own. You know, the hunter just used turtle, swap to the mage. Oh, the mage just used ice block. Swap to the resto druid. We're gonna stun the resto druid, and you'll see the stun. You can see the DR, the countdown. It's just great. It's really close to being number 1, but I think we all know what number 1 is. Here's some runner-ups. Now, before we get to number 1, I want to give a shout out to 3. I had 7. I didn't want to make a top 7 list because that seems stupid to me. But there are 3 add-ons that I really wanted to mention that just didn't quite make my list. You could probably rearrange your own tier list in your mind to say that these 3 are better than, you know, the ones that I have listed. But the first one is Details. Details is a, you know, it lets you look at your damage and your DPS. You can look at your healing. So I have both, so I can see who's doing a bunch of healing on our team and on the other team. And I've got damage meters just because I like to see who's doing damage. If you're not bringing damage to the table, what are you doing? But what are you doing, you ask? So you're also able to change what you can see. The important ones that we use are crowd controls. Let me move over here. So how many crowd controls that you did during an RBG. Now this is kind of skewed because if you root and it roots 7 people, you get credit for 7 things. So it's a little skewed, but it has so many options that you can choose from. You get a bunch of different windows. I use damage and healing, but I've looked at interrupts. Ruckus posted something in Discord about interrupts and people not interrupting in an RBG environment. How many dispels you had, how many times you died, which I don't think is very important. But you know, crowd control, how many times did Orph use Cyclone, you know, on one of the healers or whatever, any of that sort of stuff. But Details is thumbs up. The next one on the list is weak auras. It's, I mean, it's so broad of an add-on, or I mean, it can do so many things. I'm just going to get to a target dummy and show you, and everybody knows what weak auras does. It lets you essentially create anything that you want. So when I go into combat, I have just a buttload of stuff pop up on my screen. I'm a very visual person, so I want to be able to see. I was going to say it's not going to work now. I'll have to keep myself in combat. So you can see all the cooldowns that I have ready. You can see when I have the interrupts, my imprison, when my hunt comes off cooldown. I can see so many things. You can make for the mines, Silver Shard Mines RBG. You can have a weak aura that shows how long it's going to take for a cart to cap. Ruckus said there's something about a weak aura that shows you healer mana, that, you know, healers are drinking or something like that. There are bajillions of things. I gotta get out of combat. There we go. So this is weak auras. I mean, you can make a quadrillion things that go over here. So it pops when something's on me. I used it for sepsis last season. When something comes off a cooldown, when something's ready to use, when I was out of combat, it showed me when stealth was ready to use. Reminders for getting into different forms. Like let's see if I can get it to work. Boom, right there. If I was out of boomkin form when I was playing my druid, it would tell me, like, I don't want to be doing damage without chicken. It gives me trackers for bleeds. It is really good. I use this mouse circle. You can see I always lose my mouse. I'm sure a ton of people do. There's a weak aura in the description below. Find the link to it. But weak auras, again, such a broad topic, but a really, really good add. I'm going to try to do this one without getting myself killed too quickly. Probably the least of my, not suggested, wouldn't be the right word, but the least important, maybe, add-on. And again, still a great runner-up. I love it because I'm a very visual person, is Wise PvP, WEIZ, all in lowercase, WEIZ, and then PvP caps, all one word. For the updated version, there's Dragonflight in parentheses. Wise PvP and caps. I'll just show you. Oh my god. So why am I doing this to myself? Wise PvP. So that's the add-on, but to download it, it needs a parentheses and then spell out Dragonflight and then close parentheses. D is capitalized in Dragonflight. Most of this video is just going to be me spelling fucking add-ons. So anyway, it's awesome for world PvP. It gives you windows that you can move around. You should see the enemies that are in the area. What I use it for is the crosshair. These are the modifiers or the setups that I use. I want the crosshair, I want the range text, and you know, these are how I have mine set. I will show you these in a second, but let's get to where we need to be able to see this. There are not enough people in this town, so this is what it does. It gives you crosshairs. I don't use the entire screen, which is what I was going to change it to, just to show you. Hopefully this dude doesn't leave. The line. So there's a line that you can put through the entirety of your screen where you can see where he is. Of course, it didn't save, but I mean, you could see it. No, it didn't work for some reason. Okay, you can make the line super thick. You can make it super tiny. You can make it as bright as you want to. But what I use it for is literally just the spinning circle of doom. Again, very visual. I love being able to see my target. So I'm on the druid, shift my pants. That's my target. Now it doesn't work on NPCs, it doesn't work on target dummies, it only works on other players. So super awesome add-on. Again, superb for world PvP content. great for RBGs, I think, but not nearly as important, I don't think, than any of the others that are on here. And number 1. All right, and number 1, you already know what it is. If you've been watching my videos, you're familiar with the add-on. It is Battleground Enemies. All one word, big B, big G, big E, Battleground Enemies. That's this thing up here in the right-hand side above Reporter. And what it does is you're able to see the enemy team. Now, for stealth, you can still see their nameplate, but you can't see them. What you'll notice is when we click on the people, or if you tab target or whatever, it shows how many people are targeting that enemy. Also shows which enemies on the orb map are picking up orbs, or shows what enemy has the flag on a flag carry map. It shows their trinket on the right hand side. There's a bajillion ways to customize it. You can show cooldowns, you can show trinkets, you can show all sorts of stuff. You don't have to have the class or the spec specific icon. You can just have the colors. You shouldn't do RBGs without Battleground Enemies. I think if you took everything else and tossed all the other add-ons in the trash, Battleground Enemies would be the one that I would regret not having. You can see how much time they have left on their res. You can see the res timers next to their names. You wipe a team, you've got them, they're grayed out, they're resing. You know that they're resing. You still have a bunch of people targeting that warrior. JG Wentworth, it's 3 people targeting. 1 person targeting the Guardian Druid, 2, 3 on the 4, 5, 6. Everybody's targeting the Warlock. Like, it is immeasurable how important Battleground Enemies is. And that'll about wrap it up. I want to say thank you all very much for subscribing. 400 is a ton to me. Probably a ton to other people too, but I really appreciate every one of you. Thanks for stopping by. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But I appreciate you.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the